Before we talk about chakras, I'm wondering how a typical healing pranic session happens. I wanted you to say something about karma.
So what does karma mean? Karma basically means what you do to others is what you're entitled to receive, right? Meaning if you do good, then you're entitled to receive good. And so there's a bigger chance that more people will do good to you, right? We say sometimes, I met this person had a really good vibe. Like, where was the vibe? Was the vibe in the eyes? Was the vibe in the body posture? It's something you felt, it's something you experienced. So people who are sensitive, aware, most people who are sensitive and aware have experienced energy at some level. They probably just didn't recognize that what they were experiencing or sensing at that time was energy.
Afternoon, good evening, dear viewers and listeners. Welcome back to yet another episode of Beauty Lies Beyond podcast with me, Miriam Rose. I'm joined today in studio by another exciting guest, Sagar, who I will allow to introduce themselves, and we're going to start the topic on pranic healing and delve a bit deeper. So welcome, Sagar.
Yeah, thank you, Miriam. Thank you for having me. My name is Sagar Lakhani. I'm here because I'm a pranic healer.
Yeah.
So meaning I offer pranic healing services for people. In addition to that, I also teach pranic healing to people who are interested in learning through the local organization, which is called the Pranic Healing Foundation of East Africa. In addition to that, I run a football program for kids called Diamond FC.
Nice.
Yeah,
interesting.
So that's about me.
That's cool. So now that you've mentioned pranic, we've spoken about pranic in other episodes, but let's just assume they didn't watch that and we're just going to do it afresh. What is pranic healing?
Okay, so pranic healing is an advanced form of energy healing, right? Many of us have some problems in our life, whether it's health problems, relationship problems, financial problems. And energetically, whenever we have these problems, we have an energy balance in our body, right? And so pranic healing is basically the restoration or the balancing of our energy field. And when our energy field gets balanced, then we find all these areas of our life start to heal, right? So the energy field serves as a blueprint for our physical health, our emotional health, our psychological health, even our spiritual health. And so pranic healing is very simply a healing mechanism which balances this energy field so that we can experience goodness in these areas of our life.
And success. So I've encountered a few people who I try to explain to about energy and everything you said, but since energy is transparent, you can't quite see it, it doesn't land on them. So even when I say I do energy healing, it's like, what are you talking about? So how do we explain to a lay person what you mean by energy field, energy healing? What's energy? I don't know whether that's complex, but...
Okay, so we can look at it from different ways, right? We can look at it from the person who is mentally inclined, intellectually inclined. This energy field has been captured by something called Kirlian photography, right? There was a Russian scientist a long time ago who captured this energy field around human beings and around plants, right? So the technology was called Kirlian photography, right? So if you're interested and you're an intellectual, then you can check that out. Then you have personal experience, which validates it. For instance, you meet someone, and then you leave meeting that person feeling so good or vibrant or so low and dull, and you're wondering, like, what happened, right? And in that meeting, there's an exchange of energy, right? We say sometimes, I met this person had a really good vibe. like, where was the vibe? Was the vibe in the eyes? Was the vibe in the body posture? It's something you felt. It's something you experienced. So people who are sensitive, aware, most people who are sensitive and aware have experienced energy at some level. They probably just didn't recognize that what they were experiencing or sensing at that time was energy.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Especially that example of feeling a vibe. I think that's what we call it. You feel a vibe.
Yeah.
How were you introduced to this pranic healing or this energy healing personally?
I had a friend who was really sick. He was in critical condition. His parents or his dad found out about healing. They started applying healing on him. He started recovering. I was extremely curious. I was like, how the hell is that possible?
Where was he sick?
He was in Nairobi. He was in hospital.
Where was he sick?
Oh, he had a severe, what is it? Is it TB? TB.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there was recovery taking place. I was just curious. And then I asked around about pranic healing. I enrolled for a course, and then it was like, okay, this thing makes a lot of sense. And I stuck to it.
So to be clear, he was healed of TB through pranic healing.
Pranic healing supported the healing because he was also going through medical treatment. But when they started the healing, the rate of healing speeded up.
It speeded. So how did you apply it in your own life?
How have I not applied pranic healing in my life since I learned pranic healing and everything that comes with the knowledge of energy? I have applied it for health reasons, both for myself and others. I've applied it for relationship reasons. I've applied it for spiritual reasons. I've applied it for financial reasons. So I think it's a case of what have I not applied it on?
Okay, fair enough. But I'd like you to give me examples. They don't necessarily have to be your own personal examples in all those categories so that they can be more relatable. So, yeah. Then people don't just think healing is just health.
Okay, so let's look at health, for instance. The thing or the time in my life when I became most grateful for pranic healing as a healing mechanism for health was when I became a dad. Because in the middle of the night, your child wakes up and has discomfort and is crying and cannot talk. And through pranic healing, you can scan the energy field. So you can identify where there are energy imbalances and blockages to some extent. You can diagnose what's actually happening or where the pain is. And then you heal the child in that particular area and the child is relieved. Like for a parent, that is a huge, huge relief, and that's a huge value add.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the cases where just continuously being able to apply pranic healing on my child adds a huge amount of value to my life. There was once where my child was playing with a knife, right? And he had an accident on his hand. And immediately we saw it. It was a deep cut, and he was in a lot of pain. And so immediately we tried to cover it up, but he wouldn't let us. We tried to run water and all of that. He wouldn't let us. He was in severe pain. So whilst we booked an appointment to go see the doctor in emergency, both me and my wife started applying healing on him as we were on the move to the hospital. And by the time we reached the hospital, the pain had reduced substantially.
Yes.
And the crazy part is, when we saw his hand, when we reached the hospital, because we didn't want to open it up before, it looked like some healing had actually already taken place between the time where we saw it first and where we saw it at the hospital.
Nice.
All right. So just a great first aid tool, like a life-saving first aid tool in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's health. The other categories?
We
Yours
can talk.
or any
We can talk
other
about emotional health, for instance. and we can go to me. Before I learned pranic healing, I used to get angry a lot. I used to get irritated a lot. I was terrible with socializing. I struggled to interact with people. I struggled to give people like a hug. I couldn't hug people, like
You're such a good hugger.
like when we met right now at the entrance. Like we haven't interacted too much,
Yeah.
but I was open to a hug.
Yeah.
If that was me 10 years ago, I would have run out of the room or something, So no, definitely emotionally, it's sort of woken me up in a way, or it's allowed me to experience healthy emotions, and also allowed me to overcome some of the unhealthy emotions like anger, irritability, coldness, that sort of stuff, right? Spiritually, it's given me a lot more clarity and purpose on my life. Like, what am I supposed to do? What is the deeper aspect of what I'm doing? And I think that can become a huge value add, because I think today, in the world, many people don't know what they're here for, right? Many people don't know why they go to work, why they go to school, why they have a family, all those things. Not being able to understand those aspects of their life brings a lot of suffering for them, a lot of confusion, a lot of suffering. So I'm quite grateful that through Pranic Healing and the courses and the spiritual teachings within the Pranic Healing School, I have some sense of direction and clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Financial? Because most people are.
Yeah, so the thing is, I haven't experienced a crazy financial crisis. Okay, I'm quite grateful to God and for that. But I know over the years I've been able to apply the teachings to gradually improve my financial condition. But not only improve my financial condition, also improve my relationship to money. And I think this is really important, because there are people, I meet people and I've heard of people who have a lot of money, but the money doesn't bring them more happiness. The money actually brings them more suffering, because a part of them is like, oh my God, if I lose it, or oh my God, what do I do with it? Something like that. Or, oh my God, what will people think? I have more money. Are people going to think I'm some type of selfish person or something like that? So I think it's not just about accumulating money. It's also about the relationship you build with money and what that money creates for you in your life. I think that's a really important thing. And for sure, the teachings of Pranic Healing have helped me tremendously with that.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Before we go to relationships, I want you to give me, if you have any example that you've encountered of people who are on the other spectrum, who didn't have money, who were struggling with money, with survival, with all these basic chakra problems, that Pranic Healing helped, if you have any.
I have read of cases where students of Master Choa, by the way, Master Choa is the original teacher of Pranic Healing, where students of his have shared cases where, for instance, their business was in a financial crisis, and they used some of these techniques, and within a few months, the business started turning around, right? Or the person themselves was in a financial crisis, and then within a few weeks to a few years, the financial situation completely turned around. Some cases 50%, some cases 100%, some cases 200%.
Nice.
So there are cases like that.
Yeah, and they are in these books.
Yeah.
Cool. Now let's talk about relationships, how Pranic Healing can work in restoring relationships.
How can pranic healing help in restoring relationships? Okay, good question. I think before we answer the actual question, it's important to understand what is a relationship and what are you relating to, right? So you get relationships at multiple levels. And the level of relationship you establish with someone depends the level or the chakra with which you connect with the person. Okay, so we may talk about chakras
We
later,
will, yeah.
but it's like this. For instance, if the attachment in a relationship is only the sex chakra, then you're only interested in a sexual relationship, right? Nothing else is going to happen in that relationship, right? If the connection of the relationship is at a center here called the solar plexus chakra, then the relationship is going to constantly be, what are you doing for me? Right? What is in it for me? Right? You didn't buy me flowers. You didn't do this for me. You didn't do this for me. So the other person becomes the source of happiness. But if the relationship gets built at the heart chakra, then you experience what we're actually supposed to experience in a relationship, which is giving, receiving, enjoying, happiness, connection, trust, those types of things. So we have certain techniques which we teach of how you establish relationships at the heart chakra. The other chakras are okay as well, you know. There's nothing wrong with having a connection at the solar plexus, at the sex chakra, the basic chakra. But ultimately, it should be governed and controlled by the relationship and the connection from the heart chakra.
Fair enough.
I think that's what gives a relationship meaning, purpose, depth. And the energy of love actually radiates or originates from the heart chakra.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Before we talk about chakras, I'm wondering how a typical healing pranic session happens.
Okay, so the first thing that would typically happen is someone would find out about pranic healing and they'd be like, oh, I have this problem, I need to know.
Like the relationship problem, for example.
Okay, so then they would get in touch with a healer and say, hey, I have this problem. And then the healer would try to understand what is actually happening, right? The healer would try and get further information on the problem. Because just like if you went to a doctor, the doctor would go through certain questions to understand the problem. So the healer would try and do the same thing. After that, the healer would make a recommendation of a number of sessions, or the healer would recommend a trial session. So the person would come in, or a healing session would be done remotely. The healer would make sure the person is comfortable. The healer would then energetically check the person. Where are the energy blockages? Where are the energy imbalances? After diagnosing the energetic condition, the healer would apply pranic healing on the person. And after the session, the healer would get feedback from the person. Now, in all this could happen in person, meaning you could be there and I could be working on you from here, or on you without touching you, by the way, because pranic healing is no touch. Or it could happen remote, meaning someone is connected to you. You connect to someone on Zoom or WhatsApp video, whatever it is. All right? Now, once the energy condition is improved, most people experience symptomatic changes, right? Most people. Even within one session, most people experience some symptomatic change. For instance, if you came in for a relationship healing and you were really pissed off with a person and you were boiling and your mind was scattered, it's very likely that after one session, there'll be a certain level of peace and calmness in you. And possibly a certain degree of even openness to reconciling a situation.
That's interesting.
So we it's very rare that after a healing session, there's no symptomatic change. It's very rare.
Interesting. Can we speak a bit more about the chakras at this point? Just briefly.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. So chakras are like, they are the organs of the energy body, right? So we have the physical body, and the physical body has its organs, right, which have certain roles and functions. We have the energy body, which is where this energy or prana influences, and this energy body has its organs, which are the chakras, right?
Yes.
And so basically, the chakras they help to provide energy or prana or chi or ki into the organs, into the glands, right? So, for instance, in your throat area, you have something called the throat chakra, okay? The throat chakra controls the thyroid gland and the parathyroid gland, right? Now, the thyroid gland and parathyroid gland will need physical sustenance. Maybe certain foods you eat will stimulate them and keep them healthy, but they also need energy sustenance. So when you put prana into the throat, the energy goes into the thyroid gland, it energizes the thyroid gland, so the thyroid gland has more life. And if it has more life, it can function better, right? If the thyroid gland didn't get prana and only got physical sustenance, then over time it would malfunction, right? It would get starved of prana, and over time it will malfunction. So the chakras have a physical effect on the body. The chakras have an emotional effect on the body or a psychological effect on the body. Certain chakras are responsible for certain psychological functions, and the chakras have certain spiritual functions as well.
For example.
What do you mean, psychologically or spiritually?
Psychologically is most prevalent problem.
Okay. So it's like this, right? I think the best example to give is the relationship between what we call the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra. Okay. So the psychological functioning of the heart chakra is love for others. That's why it's such an important component in relationships. The psychological functioning of the solar plexus is love for myself. Me. I want, I need, my needs. Both are really important. However, when one is more active than the other, especially if the solar plexus is more active than the heart, then you have a case where someone becomes what you would label selfish. Because it's all me, and no giving back, right? So when the heart chakra and the solar plexus are balanced, but the heart chakra is slightly stronger than the solar plexus, then the person has healthy self-interest, but the person also has the capacity to give.
I see. But if the heart chakra is more activated than the solar plexus, they can become people pleasers.
They could become people pleasers, and that's why I said it's really important that the solar plexus is also strong and healthy, right? So you need both. It's not a case of you don't want a strong solar plexus. You want a strong solar plexus because you have people-pleasing tendencies for sure. But there are other consequences of having a weak solar plexus. People just walk over you, right? Or you reach a stage where you don't take care of your needs enough, and after a while you get so frustrated with the world that it affects your heart chakra. Meaning, it's like this, right? If you constantly give, and don't fill up your tank, don't enjoy yourself, don't do something for yourself, after a while you're going to get frustrated. You'll be like, I do everything for everyone, but no one does anything for me.
Yes.
Right? That's an imbalance of the heart and solar plexus. It means the solar plexus is not strong enough. It's not healthy enough. It's not able to care and cater for the needs of the person.
You know, you remind me of something I've spoken about where my solar plexus, where I was in a situation where I was giving, and I didn't know what you're saying. I didn't know there were chakras. I didn't know anything. But now in retrospect, I realized that in that giving, there was resentment, but there was also ulcers. I developed ulcers. And now I know that it's because my solar plexus was weak, so I wasn't doing anything for myself because I wasn't taking breaks. I was not having fun. I wasn't doing anything for myself. I was just doing it for others. And because of a malfunctioned solar plexus, I got this manifestation of disease. So, yeah, that just reminds me. And on that question is the question that came to my mind was, do you think that most of the disease we see is because of malfunctioned energy body chakras? They're just physical manifestations. Do you think?
It's an interesting question, and I sort of have to answer it quite accurately. Look, this is the thing, right? You have to understand that there's a relationship between the physical body and the energy body. Meaning, what happens in the energy body affects the physical body.
Mm-hmm.
But also what happens to the physical body affects the energy body. So in all diseases, the chakras will malfunction. Right? But the question is whether the malfunction started due to energetic factors or whether the malfunction started due to physical factors.
I see.
Or is it a combination of two? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for instance, if I eat unhealthy food, it's going to affect my chakras. And over time, I will experience disease. Right? But that's a factor due to, a physical factor which caused an energetic imbalance, but also resulted to a physical problem. Right? So both are really important, right? Taking care of the physical body through proper nutrition, proper exercise, proper breathing, getting enough sleep, along with, energy work, energy maintenance.
Can I get some water?
I'm okay.
Okay, cool. Then that's clear. I had a train of thought. That's clear. That's clear. Cool. Can anyone heal? So assuming it was the same situation that I just described, if I came to your school, I am assuming I'd have been taught techniques with which I could have worked on my solar plexus, strengthened it, and then maybe balanced the two. So is the school open to anybody? And if I learn to heal, can I heal other people?
Yeah, good question. I mean, are you capable of going to regular school and learning? You're capable, right?
Yeah.
And almost anyone is capable. What changes is the will to want to do it, right? So everyone is capable of healing, right? The question is, do they want to do it? Are they inclined to it? So anyone can learn how to heal.
Yeah.
And we offer our courses to anyone who wants to learn how to heal.
Okay. So how long does it take usually to learn how to heal?
The introductory course is a 2-day course, right? It's about 16 hours of content, and you get all the foundations. So within 2 days, you can heal headaches, right? You can relieve symptoms of arthritis. You can relieve symptoms of hypertension. You can relieve symptoms of stress and tension for yourself and for the people you love. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, and it reminds me, I remember what I was thinking about depression. Mental health, it's something that is very prevalent, especially now that people finally are talking about it. Is it something that can be healed through pranic as well? Of course, alongside medicine.
No, completely. Because what does depression mean? It means, from an energy perspective, it means a severe depletion of prana or life energy in certain chakras. Now, you can have depression, which is caused by psychological factors, which is the prevalent condition right now, or the dominating condition, because people are just really stressed out, and there's a lot of work pressure, career pressure, family pressure, which is depleting people's energy and vitality, which can lead to depression. And then you have, physical depression, which happens to many of us in cold, gloomy days where we just feel devitalized and don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So both can be treated.
Okay.
Both can be treated. And again, it's one of those things, in my experience with treating depression, you get symptomatic changes really quickly. People are like, within 1 or 2 sessions, getting out of bed is much easier. Getting a few of the things done is much easier, or a sense of peace is much stronger. So symptomatic changes with depression is pretty quick.
Is there like a standard amount of sessions that like a minimum amount of number of sessions?
Not really, because if the condition is not severe, you can get great symptomatic changes within 1, 2, or 3 sessions. If the condition is severe, then you need to work longer, right? So, not really. It really depends on the severity of a condition. It's just like if you have muscle pain, how often do you need to go to the masseuse? It depends on what the severity of the condition is, right?
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. You were explaining before I took you on a trajectory the levels. So you do basics for 2 days and you learn how to heal minor ailments. In this case, just in the health sector.
Well, you learn how to heal minor ailments, but you also learn how to bring about symptomatic improvements in serious ailments. So a basic student learns how to treat someone who's had a chronic heart condition, and learns how to improve the symptoms of the person. Now, in all of this, it's not to say that you stop medication. In all of this is to say that whilst you're healing, the person, you're complementing any medical treatment that's taking place. But yeah, within basic course, you can do quite a lot.
Yeah. And then after basic, where did the
After
student...
basic course, if you like it, if it stirs you in a healthy way, if you want to improve your healing skills and make your healings deeper, faster, more effective, then you can learn advanced pranic healing, right? Where advanced pranic healing is like an energy surgeon, right? So we really start specializing on different systems of the body and how to treat different systems with advanced healing techniques, all right? Then if you like that and you're enjoying it and it's adding value to your life, you can do level 3 pranic healing, which is the treatment of psychological conditions. Chronic stress, fear, trauma,
Grief.
addictions, grief, phobias. You see a lizard and you freak out, right? Addictions, food addiction, drug addiction, tobacco addiction, hallucinations. So in level 3, we really start specializing in psychological conditions.
And I feel like that would be really good for rehabs. Yeah, I feel that
Absolutely.
would be very, very helpful for rehabs.
Absolutely.
And then after that, you just keep going and going and going and going.
It's one of those where once you enter, you go as far as you will to go.
Yeah.
Because there's the original founder of Pranic Healing has given so many courses on healing, courses on spirituality, courses on manifestation. It's endless.
Yeah, and it's very, very simplified. I appreciate that because I'm a lover of philosophy, but I have learned so much more about philosophy in such little time. It's amazing. And it always helps me become a better Hindu. Yeah. And it helps everyone, wherever they are. This is what I've learned. You become a better person in wherever it is you are. So to emphasize, it is not religious.
Yeah.
Because, and I think I was going to ask you about myths and misconceptions that the school has encountered. But one thing I have experienced is that it looks like a Hindu thing.
Yeah.
So Africans don't want to come.
Yeah.
So what other challenges or similar challenges have you encountered?
Well, the first thing to clarify is it's non-religious.
It's
right? Just the way you have a doctor who treats the physical body, you get trained in treating the energy body, right? It's a part of you. Mm-hmm. So there's no religious component to that, right? It's a scientific component in a way, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, and as you said very well, if you practice what you're taught, and if you have more peace in your life, and you have more love in your life, and you have more clarity in your life, and you become a better person, doesn't that make you a better Hindu, Christian, Muslim, whatever religion you practice, right? Because at the end of the day, a lot of the religions are based, the foundations of the religions are based on becoming a better person.
Yeah.
And it's in a way, it's difficult to, let's say, let me give you an example, right? So the religions and the great teachers taught us to become better people, right? They say, care for your neighbors, right? Care for your loved ones, right? Love them. But if you're chronically stressed out and there's so much stress energy in your solar plexus, inevitably it's going to affect your heart chakra. It's going to pull some of the energy from your heart chakra. So it's going to be harder for you to be a better person. But if you remove the stress energy, if you regulate the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra has more energy. If you put energy into the heart chakra, it's easier for you to be a better person.
I actually didn't know that.
So
Nice.
it supports your journey to be a better person, and it supports your religion, your faith, your culture, whatever it is.
That's so well put.
Yeah.
I didn't know that last thing that you said. Awesome. The other question is there any benefit for the healer, for people who heal, for healers, do they receive any benefit when they heal?
Well, number one, if they're hungry kids and you go and feed on the hungry kids, do you feel better?
Yes.
Like you feel like you're doing something useful? Like there's more meaning in your life? Like when you see a smile, you're like, that was worth it? Well, when you heal someone and the person is like, man, the pain is relieved, or my home situation has improved, or, finally I can sleep. Thank you. Like that's satisfying. It's deeply satisfying, right? So I think many people who heal, we enjoy that part. We enjoy the part where we're able to help people and add meaning to people's lives, and see people's suffering reduce. So
That's true.
It's enriching. It feels internally rewarding.
That's true. But now that you mention it, I'm like, that's true. For the people that I've healed, it makes me feel so nice, so fulfilled. I never even thought about it, but now I'm like, yeah, for sure. I'd rather do this than anything else. That's really nice.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. I wanted you to say something about karma.
So what does karma mean? Karma basically means what you do to others is what you're entitled to receive, right? Meaning if you do good, then you're entitled to receive good. And so there's a bigger chance that more people will do good to you, right? And we don't have to look at it in a very complex way. We can look at it in a very simple way, right? If I show you kindness, if I came here every day, let's say we were working, and every day I was like, hey, good morning, what's up? How you doing? And brought good energy to you, you would be more inclined to give good energy back.
Yeah.
Right? You'd be like, good. So it's the same way with karma. When you do good, then you're more entitled for good to come back to you. Now, when you heal, the specific good you're doing is elevating suffering. It could be physical health, relationship. But if you improve the quality of someone's relationship, then you're entitled to good relationships. If you improve someone's physical health, you're entitled to better physical health. So healers definitely get the benefit of the good karma in helping people. But it's not only healers who benefit from good karma, right?
Yeah.
Anyone who does something good benefits from the good karma that from that,
That's clear. That's very clear. I want to take you back a bit to the misconceptions and the myths you've heard or encountered about pranic healing in your tenure.
Some of these are related to chakras. Look, people are getting more and more curious about chakras, right? And people are finding information about chakras on YouTube.
That's where I learned.
Which is great, but it's let's say that the knowledge on YouTube of the chakras is still evolving. Okay? So people, for instance, will say, I want my chakras open, my chakras are blocked. No, your chakras are not blocked. I mean, if your chakras were closed, you wouldn't be alive. Right?
That's funny.
I mean, look, if your throat chakra is closed, there would be no prana into your thyroid gland. Your thyroid gland would malfunction. Your metabolism would malfunction. Your hormonal production would malfunction. You'd die.
Yeah,
Right?
interesting.
So the question is not that your chakra is open or closed. The question is to what degree is it open? Right? That's usually a big one.
The biggest
right?
one. Yeah.
Another myth which comes up, people say is, we've had cases where someone is struggling and we offer healing, and they or their family would say, no, we don't want you to interfere with their karma.
Really?
Right?
That's a good one.
So they'd be like, they're supposed to suffer, so we don't want you to interfere with their karma, right? And I'm like, cool, then don't go to a doctor.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. If you don't want to interfere with karma, then just stay at home. Don't go to a doctor either. Or don't take medication. Or don't take herbal supplements. Right? What's the difference, right?
But that's a good argument, but I've actually ever thought about it. I was
Yeah.
like, isn't this interfering with people's karma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It isn't, because one of the laws of the universe is we're supposed to help each other out when things are not good.
I think what they mean is, to be fair, because I've thought about that question, is if someone was, we're not judges, but sometimes we take that role. If someone was a bad person and we know it, and then finally they start suffering in the same lifetime, at least, we are happy. We are like, finally, you're getting your karma back. So if you come, Sagar, and you want to treat this person, I'm like, no, bye. Let them suffer. Because they have to pay for what they did.
Yeah.
But like,
but
now
for the
that I
same
say it,
but for the
it's
same
ridiculous.
person, if for instance you clear up their solar plexus, you strengthen their heart chakra, you strengthen their ajna chakra, they start to see. They may have a realization, oh my God, what I've been doing is not so cool. What I'm doing is hurting people. What I'm doing is causing suffering. And then they can start the process of reconciling and becoming a better person.
That's fair.
Right?
I like that. I like that argument. I hadn't thought of that. Any other myth that off the top of your head?
Another myth, or another thing people are concerned about is, or people who heal, or people who want to become healers, is there's a misconception that if they heal, they take on the pain or the suffering of the person they're healing.
Oh, wow.
Right? So, again, that is not accurate. That is completely inaccurate. When you go to see a doctor, the doctor doesn't absorb your disease.
Yeah.
Right? Same way, energetically, the healer doesn't absorb the disease. If they follow the training and the teachings properly, they don't absorb your disease. So it's extremely safe. It's very safe to be a pranic healer. Meaning, you don't lose your own energy in the healing, because there's energy all around us, and that's the energy we are tapping to heal. So you don't. So it's not a case of I'm giving my energy to someone. I'm not giving my energy. I'm just using myself as a channel for energy which is all around and redirecting it to the person.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not causing harm to myself. I'm not absorbing the disease of the person I'm working. There's a mechanism in the healing system to counteract that. So healing is extremely, extremely, extremely safe. Like, most people who are listening to this will go on the roads and will drive on the road, or will get into a car on the road, or a motorbike or something. Look at the roads in Nairobi. It's crazy. It's much safer being a healer than it is being on the roads in Nairobi. Right?
Yeah.
So
That's true.
yeah.
What are some simple practices to keep our energy field clean and strong? So our aura. I think you should mention a bit about the aura and then the practices.
So we have a physical body and we have an energy body. The energy body is what we call the aura, right? Proved to some extent by Kirlian photography. Proved to some extent by our experiences in life. Right? For instance, I'm sitting, looking this way, can't see behind. Someone comes behind, I'm like, someone's in my space. But they're not touching me. And when I turn around, someone is right there.
Yeah.
Because at that moment, what happens is their energy field and my energy field, we enter each other, right? And so practically, that's how you can prove to some extent, this energy field. So the energy field is what helps to vitalize our physical body, our mind, right? So how can we keep it clean? Exercise regularly, eat well, keep it physically clean, like have a bath every day or twice a day, and then you go into the more subtle stuff, like watch your thoughts, right? Because and watch your emotions, right? Because those have an effect on the energy field, definitely, emotions of love, patience, kindness are going to keep your energy field cleaner than anger and bitterness and resentment, right? So there are practices where you can, physical practices, which you can do to keep your energy field relatively clean, and there are energy practices, which hopefully more and more people can start doing.
Yeah,
and pranic healing is a part of that, and meditation is a part of that, and cultivating a spiritual practice is a part of that.
Yeah, in any religion.
Yeah, of any religion, yeah.
Cool. What is a vision of pranic healing for the future?
Wow, so this is not my vision. This is the vision of the original teacher, the original founder. His vision was one pranic healer per family. And my assumption or my understanding of that vision is because if you have a pranic healer in a family, it can help improve the lives of everyone in the family, right? And if everyone experiences, or more people experience, better health, better relationships, better financial situations, more spiritual connection, then in general, the world is going to become a nicer place. So his vision was just a world where there's more peace and more harmony and more collaboration, and that sort of stuff. He called it heaven on earth, which is very abstract. And for me, heaven on earth means just good relationships, joy, happiness in life, meaning in life.
That's true. Say a bit more about Twin Hearts.
So the Twin Hearts meditation is a really good energy practice for cleansing, energizing the aura, right? So for instance, every day we shower. And the reason we shower is to physically clean our body. The purpose, or the most basic purpose of meditating, is to energetically cleanse our aura, right? So when you do Twin Hearts meditation, your aura, to a large extent, gets cleansed. What is the impact of a clean aura? It's like this, You've seen a washing machine, right? And the washing machine spins. Well, the reality is, for most people, we're in that washing machine. Meaning, our mind is dysregulated. We're going from one thing to another, to another, to another, from this message to this message. Our emotions are dysregulated, meaning we're jumping from anger to intense joy. And our actions sometimes are not always coordinated with what our mind wants, right? So by doing Twin Hearts meditation, your aura gets cleansed. When your aura gets cleansed, your mind becomes sharp, right? You have focus and clarity. You see things for the way they are, right? It's like you come out of the washing machine, and like, oh, this is what it actually is, right? You know, they say aha moment. Well, Twin Hearts, for me, I know, and people I speak with, provides those aha moments. Okay, this is what it is, right? It helps to live a much more balanced emotional life, just so that you're not swinging, right? Yeah. So that's really one of the most powerful things Twin Hearts does. For me, it's like part of my food. It's like staple food, doing my Twin Hearts meditation. And I was telling a team the other day, a team of coaches the other day, I was like, the biggest impact professionally in my life has been because of my Twin Hearts and my spiritual practice. Because you have clarity of mind, you have clarity of emotions, you have regulated emotions. You can achieve so much.
Yeah. That to me speaks to the fact that this pranic healing can be done by anyone, including CEOs and politicians and anyone. Is that correct?
So this is the thing, right? So many people who are CEOs or in high positions or busy people say, I don't have time for this.
Yes.
Well, one of the reasons they don't have time for it is because washing machine. Right?
Yeah.
But when you do your practice, then everything is clear. What would have taken 1 hour, you can do in 30 minutes or 40 minutes,
Yeah.
And with less stress, with less emotional turbulence, right? So logically, if your lifestyle is not very busy, then you need the Twin Hearts less, right? Because you're not spinning as fast in the washing machine. But if you're living a very busy life and with many, many moving parts, then the washing machine is spinning faster. Then you probably need more Twin Hearts.
Yeah. Because I think it would be a misconception if we left without saying that pranic healing is just for healers or people who want to make a career out of healing, and any other person with a career or an office job can't do that, can't do pranic healing.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid point. I think a very small minority of people who learn pranic healing pursue it professionally, right? For the rest, it's a tool in their life to improve their health, their emotions, their relationships, their spiritual connection, which makes them more effective in everything else they do. You become a better dad or mom, you become a better CEO or manager, you become a better employee, you become better at all those things,
Yeah.
You become better. Whatever it is you want to do, you get better.
Yeah. True. I love that. That summarizes it. Any final words you'd love to share with our viewers?
Not really. I think we've talked a lot.
Yeah,
and,
we've said it all.
Answered a lot.
You've really summarized so many concepts and broken them down. I'm really grateful for that. And I would really wish the vision for this session, for this episode, to be as many people take up pranic healing or Twin Hearts. We do Twin Hearts every Wednesday evening, online on Zoom. And yeah, just create heaven on earth, at least in their families.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if a large percentage of families or people created heaven on earth in their families, well, that's a large percentage of humanity.
That's true.
Right?
Cool.
Maybe one thing I'll add is, if those of you who are watching and listening and interested, we have an office in Nairobi, right? We have a center in Nairobi which serves the East African region. And you can find us if you just Google Pranic Healing East Africa, you'll find us. We have an Instagram page. And reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you.
Yeah. Yeah, they should. You really should. It's personally changed my life. That is why I keep having these episodes on pranic healing. And I keep meeting so many people who have, like, just yesterday had a phone call of someone whose wife had the blockage in the valves of the heart. And just the first thought was like, I would help. Like, I would do pranic on them. Of course, consent is needed. That's one of the things you learn in class. But I just realized how for me it would be less stressful, the fact that I have this tool, if it happened to like someone in my family. I'm way less stressed than if I had nothing. I wouldn't feel as helpless.
I think that's a great point. A lot of people suffer a lot because of hopelessness.
Yeah.
Like someone is sick, don't know what to do, we're giving medication, changes are not happening, hopelessness. Then it depletes you, devitalizes you,
And
you suffer
everyone
so
else.
much for it. At least here you have something you can do.
You can do something. Yeah.
You're not hopeless.
Yeah, it does give me confidence. That's something I think at the very least I've gotten in myself. Awesome, Sagar. I think we don't want to make it too long. Thank you for all the insights you've shared. I've learned so much most new things. Thank you. Thank you, viewers and listeners, for watching and being with us. We hope that you're going to reach out to Pranic Healing East Africa to learn and read all this and learn how to help yourselves and your families and promote heaven on earth and just have less suffering.